Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. Today I'm doing the ABC April 2025 challenge, and we are on the letter S. Hard to believe we're already through the month of April. Seems like I just started this challenge on the one hand, but on the other hand, it seems like it's been going on forever. Sometimes when I do these monthly challenges, that's the feeling that I get when we get toward the end. I have been fiddling around with what I was going to do for today's challenge for probably about an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. And I finally decided on something, I think. I have a tendency to overthink sometimes. I know it's a shocker, but it's true. My dad used to say all the time to me, because I do tend to overthink, do something. Even if it's a mistake, just do something. Because when you do something, it's fixable. When you don't make a decision, then you haven't accomplished anything. So that's my philosophy for today. After an hour and a half of deciding what I was going to do. So I am going to do something. Now, S, as it comes, applies to junk journaling. There are actually quite a few S's associated with junk journaling. So I have taken a few of those, and I'm going to apply them for my make today. So I'm going to be making side tucks using scrapbook paper strips, some stitching, some staples, some strips, film strips. What else? What else do I have? SYs. My scissors, of course. I do have a little bit of sewing and hand stitching, so we've got that covered. Everything that I'm using is from my scrap box. I think that's it. Staggered. I'm going to be doing some staggering. So, like I said, this is going to be a side tuck. This one I'm going to do as a full page side tuck. And these are both going to go in my 1930s journal. And I have cut some strips that I got out of my scrap box, and I've cut them to be 1 inch wide and 6 inches long, I think. But the length really doesn't matter, because what I'm going to do, that one has a little scrappy bit on there, is I'm going to glue them. It's still on there. See, that's going to get on my nerves. I'm going to stagger them on this piece of cardstock to make my side tuck. I couldn't think of what I was trying to say. Now, I chose strips that are all the same thickness. They're the thicker scrapbook paper, but you can use whatever you want. You can use a digital, you can use, you know, just one-sided thin paper. But I would, I think, make sure that everything that's used is the same thickness. I'm not sure that it would have the same effect, and, you know, because if you have like one thick piece and one thin piece, it's not going to match up nicely. In my opinion, it may be fine. So I'm just going to cut these at different lengths, and we're going to get them on here, and then we're going to embellish it, and I've got some things that we're going to tuck behind it. So let's get started. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's rainy here, and that could be part of my funk. I'm not really in a funk. I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do, and that gets irritating to me sometimes. I need to quit overthinking and just go with my first thought. I think I'd be better off. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to randomly cut these to length. And see what we can come up with. We should be 3 across there about. We'll trim it to make sure we're going to get everything all nice and in a nice rectangle shape. I'm going to do that one, the whole thing. Okay, so there's our first row. And then we will go in with some of the others. What haven't we used? This one. This one. Uh-oh. We're not matching. Didn't get that one far enough over. I've gone crooked. I know. It's hard to believe. Okay, so let's do this one. About here. See, I'm overthinking already. All right. Put that one on. We're going to go all the way down with that one, I think. Do we want to? No, let's not. Let's cut it. Let's cut it. That one's going to fit right in there, and it's going to be off just a little bit. We'll put some ink on there and get those little bitty white spots. Of course, I'm going to have something laying on top of that, so it may end up not mattering much by the time we get everything on. That one's going to be way off. I must cut it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to put it right there, and then we will trim it off the outer edge. Alright, so I haven't used this piece, so we'll put it here. I'm sorry to read about the Pope's passing. I'm not Catholic, but I think he was a good man and very good for the Catholic Church. I know he was a little bit of a different thinker when it came to some of the other popes. That's too much like that. I don't like that. What about this? Now you'll notice that I did not ink in between or around each of the pieces before I put them together. You obviously could do that as well if you chose to. Okay, so there is my side tuck. So now I can first I can trim these off. Then I can take my trimmer and trim down this edge that has just that little bit of white showing. Alright, don't slip. And let's see this side as well, because our width really doesn't matter. I mean, I just pick something, you know what I mean? When I cut my side tuck, that's what I'm saying. Uh-oh. You know what I'm saying, Vern? Okay, so there's that one. And we will ink all the way around it with walnut stain, and I've got some more even smaller scraps to deal with now. But they're getting smaller, so that's progress, right? Try to get those little white spots. Might have to get my little brush, one of my little brushes out to get down in there with some vintage photo. And I'll take just a little paper towel and wipe off the excess. Always have trouble saying that. Just so those little seams aren't so in your face there. Okay. Okay, much better. All right, so there is our pocket. So let's, it's going to go on this side. So I'm going to take my little whale tail punch here and put a little notch in the side so it'll be more accessible to the tags we're going to put behind it. Like that. Alright, so there is a cute little side pocket. And then I have a couple of options. I thought you could either do this and put a photo strip behind this film strip. That's option one. And then the other option was to take this tag from Joey's kit and put on here, which I like that option as well. And then I have this little, it's like the bottom part of a price tag. And I thought I could put that on there. I think I like that option. So I'm going to glue this on here like a tab. Where's my art glitter glue? Or do I just want to leave it? I mean, I hate that I'm going to put that on there and cover up a lot of my... I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to... I may put a tag or something down here. But I think I'm going to leave it and just tuck him in there. And then the other thing I'm going to tuck in here is I have this little lace, like, sample card that I stapled some just different kinds of lace on. And I'm going to stick it behind here. And then I also have one of the digital invoices from the garment company. And I'm going to stick it behind here. I also have this piece, but again, I don't want to cover up my... Nope. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. So in the journal, I'm going to put it on this page. So it will go right here. I kind of think it needs something here that has the teal color in it. Just one more element. But if for the moment, I'm going to glue it in. Just like that. Still like him there. And then stick the invoice and the little lace sample card. Maybe we'll stick them up there so the tab sticks out the top. See, this is what I've been doing all morning, guys. So, my solution to that, for the moment, is going to be to take a paper clip. And I'm going to paper clip this tag on here. And we're going to move on to the other one. And then I'm going to let that settle in. And look at it with fresh eyes and decide if I want to do anything with it, because I really like the way that looks right there. So that may be the way we leave it. Okay, for the other one, which is also going in this journal. Oh, and by the way, I finished all three of my braggities. This is the one we made together. And then I have one here. And I have one here. I did one for each signature. And as you can see, when you shut the journal, it makes it look like papers are just stuffed in there. But of course, you know, there's single sheets, so they're not going to fall out everywhere. And you can remove them if you don't like them, or you can move them around, whatever you would like. So the other one is going, I have somewhere in here 2 double pages right here. No, one more, I think. Oh my goodness. I have 2 pages of, right here. I have tea-dyed paper here. I have faux tea-dyed here, and I want to break those up. So that's where we're going to put the other one. But the other one I'm going to do a little bit different. So for this one, what I've done is I've cut my tuck into, it's going to be a tag tuck. So it's going to be shaped like a tag, but it's going to be glued in like a tuck. And instead of going vertically with the strips, we're going to go horizontally with the strips. If that makes any sense. Okay, so I should have enough to just go across and glue strips just like this. So I'm just going to glue them all down, and then we will trim them off. And I think on this one, it's going to be easier just to put the glue stick down on the tag as we go. Because they're not going to be staggered. They're just going to go from one side to another. Hardest thing about this one is deciding which side of the paper you want to use. Because some of it's pretty on both sides. I'm lifting it up to make sure I'm getting it straight, and it's a lot easier for me to see if it's straight if I lift it up than it is trying to look down on it from an angle. Okay, so there's that one covered. So we'll trim it up now. Okay, now a couple of these strips I will keep, the longer ones. The shorter ones I'll just get rid of because I have way too many little scrappy bits as it is. At some point you gotta purge. Okay, so there's that one. So let's ink around it and cut our little angles. And I do not know some of these papers. The flowery papers are Mente. Like this one, I believe that one is. This piece and that piece are Tim Holtz. I do not know this one. I've had that in my stash for ever. So I'm not sure whose that is. Okay, angle. And you don't have to have one of these. You can just snip off a corner, flip it around, snip off the other corner. You can take a plastic gift card or something like that, make yourself a template. You know, there's lots of options for making your little angles. A lot of people think that crocodile one, the ankle's not big enough, but I like it personally. I don't like those big old deep angles on my tags, but that's just personal preference. You do you, because that's what junk journaling is all about, is you doing what you love and not what you think somebody else might love. Because when you get to the point, in my opinion, where you're trying to make things that other people like instead of what you enjoy, suddenly it becomes not so enjoyable, especially if you're trying to make the same thing over and over and over. And Jody, thanks for reminding me that I need to link my Etsy store in the description. I never remember to do that, and it's not that I have a bad memory, it's that I hate to work on a computer because I worked on a computer for so many years in my job that I just hate it these days. And the sooner that I can get a video made and up and don't have to think about it anymore, the better I feel about it. And secondly, I am horrible at self-promoting. You know, I don't do this for the money. The main reason I do sell things on Etsy is to support my own habit. And it allows me to replenish things that I use in journal making. And I'm just not very good at self-promoting. So thank you for reminding me that I need to link my store. Alright, I'm also going to use a little bit of sewing pattern behind this. Not a lot, just a little. Just to kind of get that kind of manufacturing, garment manufacturing, sewing vibe going. But again, I don't want to cover up on my nice little pattern. Maybe I'll put it down in the corner where you can still see all the layers. Kind of like that. Yeah, that'll work. Okie dokie. See if I can get this on here without tearing it. Can I do it? Then we're going to put her on here. This is from Joey's kit, the 1930s. I really love this kit. The photos are awesome. And then I also have this, which is a ruler, or a digital that has a bunch of rulers. Take measures. I may take this one. That is sideways. I think I'm going to put it right there. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then I pulled this tag out of my stash. It is a pattern, and it has a little stitched button on there and some little lace scraps and fabric scraps. And so this tuck is going to go on this side so that this can tuck behind it. And then I have another invoice that I want to also be able to tuck behind there. But I need some little pieces of ribbon or something to put in those holes. So let's see if we can find that real quick. And then I think that'll be a wrap for this one. What do I have right here? Oh, that's got... this caught my eye. It's got a cog on it, but I don't mind that because that's kind of like, I'm going to put it right here. See what I think about it. It's a hidden paper clip. It's not really a hidden paper clip because you can see it, but yeah, I don't mind that. I like that little flower and how it picks up the flowers in the paper there. So we'll see. It's kind of bulky. Okay, so now this one is going to go here for a side tuck. And like I said, those two things, no, I don't like that. When I see it on the page, I don't like it. So I'm taking it off. So it'll be in here like this. I think this one needs to have just a regular thread. So we're just going to put a string or twine through this one. And I'll ink these invoices when I go through with my final touches for the journal. And then this one, let's see if I can find a little piece of ribbon or something to go in there. There's a piece of seam binding. That matches pretty well, doesn't it? So let's get a pretty long piece of that, and we'll see if we can tie a bow today. Yeah, I think I said it was rainy here today, and that's makes my joints hurt. Yeah, that's cute. So let's glue this on, and again, I'm going to glue it as a tuck. If my glue decides to work. You were just working fine. Now you're going to give me a hard time. Guess it doesn't like the weather either, huh? All right. Can you see? Am I on screen? Of course, I don't know what you need to see other than I'm making a mess with my glue. You see what not to do. All right, so now we can stick this back there, and we can stick our little invoice back there. And we're good to go. We have two little tucks. One shaped like a tag. And then the other one, which is back this way, isn't it? Because it's in between the signatures. Looks like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll be back in just a little bit for Relax, Revisit, Remake. And I hope you'll come back and join me then. Until then, everybody stay safe. and enjoy your day, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.